Hi everybody, it's Emerald Stars. Welcome back to another episode of Harvest Block. Alright, let's get to it and have some fun! The goal today is to see how far into Immersive Engineering I can get. So let's start off with our Engineer's Hammer. Just regular sticks, yeah. Looked like creosote sticks for a second and I was a little confused. And Engineer's Hammer. Kiln bricks. How many of them do we need? 8? 6, 8. There's our 8 kiln bricks. Coke bricks. And I obviously collected all of these resources beforehand since they're kind of grindy. Took a lot of essence and a lot of doing. It's so hard to tell which one is which. Oh dear. Okay. And then this. Is it with these in the middle? Coke bricks. Okay. And we need 27 of those. Okay, we have our 27 coke bricks. And then blast bricks. They're the ones with the blaze powder, which I was going to go on ahead and do a little bit of Ender IO as well, since you can get this from the sag mill right here. If you put netherrack in a sag mill, you'll get the blaze powder out of it. 15% chance. That's not the best. But it saves us from going into the nether right now because I avoid that place at all costs. So we're gonna clear those out and put this in here. I made a nice big area over here for our Immersive Engineering and basically just tech mod stuff. So I'm gonna put this one down here. Smack that with a hammer. Alloy kiln. And next, I'm just kind of throwing these down haphazardly. I don't super have a plan for this area yet, and I might give the whole entire base a remodel eventually. We'll just have to see. And our coke oven. And I'm going to let that start doing its thing since coke takes forever. And we're going to need quite a bit of it at some point. So I'm going to let that do its thing and do a little bit of Ender IO. So we're going to need, I'm going to make 3 of these so that I can make a alloy smelter, a sag mill, and a Stirling generator, since we're going to need that for our power. So starting with the chassis, 3 of them. And I got those mixed up again. It would help if I could remember these recipes completely correct. Okay. The alloy smelter, we need 2 furnaces, bucket, gears, and iron. So go in and make 2 furnaces and a bucket. If I can crafting on camera. Okay. Furnaces, gears, bucket, iron. Alloy smelter, I'm gonna put you down over here. Kind of keep them separate. the I/O and Immersive Engineering. Next, we're going to do the sag mill. This one's going to require flint, so stone and fire. I didn't collect that beforehand. It's not going to be too bad. So, stone and fire. That way. 3 of them. And a piston. With our piston, we can get our sag mill. And we're going to need the Stirling generator to power these two, so let's go in. Missing all the items, good grief. What else was it needing? Stone bricks. Do we still have stone bricks? I think they're over in here. The ones that I accidentally made the mossy stone bricks with. Yeah, I have crafting tables just randomly placed all over the entire base, since I hate not having a crafting table nearby, and walking across the entire base to find one is just not what I want to do all day. So I just put crafting tables randomly all over. So bimetal and Stirling generator. Food. Hey, food. Still a bit of an issue here. I don't want the bowl though. And I'm gonna wait to put that in there. Nah, I'm gonna put our coal in there and get some netherrack grinding down. Well, with that set up, we're gonna have to do a little bit of waiting for the netherrack to get our blaze powder, and a lot of waiting for our coal coke here. So I'm gonna go on ahead and see you in a minute. This has had a little bit of time to do its thing, and we've got ourselves 4 blocks of coal coke, which is awesome. I put a fluid tank here. It only takes 16 buckets though, and that is rapidly filling up. At some point I would like to put a, what is it, void? No, not void. Black hole tank. I want to put a black hole tank on there. They hold a ton of liquid in it, so at some point I'm going to put that on top here, but that requires 3 ender pearls, and I am definitely lacking in the ender pearl field. So also I want to craft a capacitor to put on top of this, so that if ever this is finished with netherrack or whatever it's processing, I don't want this to just idle away all of its power, because it's at 80% efficiency, and so if you just let it sit there, the power will slowly drain out of it. So I'm going to go over and create a capacitor bank, and we need 4 capacitors, not bricks, copper. 4 of those. A redstone in the center, redstone block. And there's our capacitor bank that I'm just gonna chuck right there on top, and it'll absorb the excess power that this is being generated, so that it doesn't just get wasted, which would be a shame and not really efficient. So next we can probably get started on this. I did get a decent amount of traded wood planks here, so we can go on and, what was it, table? That didn't help. There we are. So a treated wood fence and 3 treated wood planks. So fence, not the recipe. There we go. 3 planks, our fence, and our crafting table, and we have our engineer's workbench. Oops, I had the wrong thing in my hand. We'll take that down, put that there. So we can start building our blueprints and whatnot on that. Next, it's wanting this water wheel and steel. We can make steel with our blast furnace, or we can make it in the alloy smelter, which is kind of a lot easier and a lot faster since steel takes so long in the blast furnace. So that's the regular recipe. You get your slag and whatever. Or you can grind up some coal, put it with an iron ingot, and you'll get steel from that. Or you can put coke. That's probably the faster idea. So iron, coke, comes out steel. It takes a lot less time than trying to put it in the blast furnace. I'm still going to make the blast furnace because it's part of the challenge, the quests, but I'm probably not going to be using it as much as I would the Ender IO solutions, just because they're a lot more efficient in my opinion. I got the steel necessary for making the water wheels, so let's make a couple of sticks here. We only need 4. What was that recipe? Oh, the segments must not take the steel. Sorry for the cut away from the water wheel. I was having a lot of background noise. And I finished the water wheel. I got that all done, and I also made the kinetic dynamo that would go with it so that we could have water generated power. And I wanted to do the thermoelectric generator since setting up a water wheel is kind of a pain, but it requires Constantin, and I don't have any nickel, and so far I don't really know how to get that. Maybe I'm missing something in the pack, but the nickel says it's tier 4, and maybe I'm just missing something for that, but we need that as well as this to unlock the engineer's manual, as well as these down here. And for progressing to tier 4, we need the squeezer to make our diamonds, which is what I'm going to work on right now. So I don't know if that's a bug or what. So I went on ahead and made this engineer's manual so I could get the layout for the squeezer. And I made up all of the required parts for it, so we're going to go on ahead and lay that down, and I'm going to watch this a couple times and see if I can remember it. Okay, so we're going to I'm putting it over here because I found a way to kind of, I don't know, jury rig it so it can work off of Ender IO power instead of making the water wheel, because like I said, I hate that. I don't want to make a water wheel. They're really annoying. So that doesn't look like theirs did. How come it doesn't look like theirs did? The pipe in the middle. Oh, it probably will once I put the barrel on top of it. It'll reanimate so it's facing up. Can't tell because the scaffolding is in the way. But it probably did. Hopefully it did, because otherwise this isn't going to work. And that one goes on there. I think this one goes here. This is going to go here, but we need it to face down. So we're going to need some building blocks and face our piston down, not that way. Okay, let's see. We can shift maybe? No. Why is that not working? I need it to face down. Maybe try it from a different angle? These scaffolding are kind of annoying because I try and jump by it and oh, there we go, it went. I try and jump on them and it makes me climb them. It's kind of silly, but whatever. So then our 3 stairs here, and I'm not sure, do I just smack it anywhere with the engineer's hammer or do I have to hit a specific block? I'm just gonna try that one. No? Oh, I don't want that to turn. That's what I was trying to do earlier, but you have to click it on the stone side instead of the wooden side. So did this not actually end up connecting correctly? Because I'm pretty sure this is correct. I think I set this up the right way. Let's see. Are the barrels oriented correctly? I mean, do they need to be oriented a different way? Didn't seem to do anything. No connection? Is that what they need? We're gonna have to move this then if we want to turn all of these to no connection. Is that how we do it? And then smack this with our hammer. There we go. Oh, hey, look, it's connected to that one now. Okay. So maybe it's right now? What am I missing? Formed by using the engineer's hammer on the central wooden barrel from the side that has the engineering blocks. Okay, central barrel, this one. Hey, look! That did it. So, where do we connect power? Do we connect it to this? Or up here? Or right there? Maybe right there. Let's try there. I'm going to put a relay over here on my capacitor bank and a connector here and grab my wires and connect the 2 of those up. That doesn't seem to be giving it any power. I tested this in a creative world. Well, I tested if a capacitor bank could give an immersive engineering capacitor bank power, and that worked. But I don't know if it can give power directly to objects. So let's maybe I just put this in the wrong spot. Does it go here? No, that's still not getting any power. Okay. Maybe I'm going to have to build a capacitor to work as like a mediary or whatever between these 2 machines, that and this. Because it worked, like I said, it worked in my testing world, and if I can get away with using Ender IO power instead of building a water wheel, since I don't know how to get nickel right now, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go on ahead and make an immersive engineering capacitor bank, and I will be, and I will be right back. I managed to get the setup working, and I'm going to show you what I did just in case this is the route you want to take. Or, who knows, it's in beta, the dev might nerf this particular method. So I got my capacitor bank here, my Ender IO one, and I went into configuration, and I selected this side and turned it to an output, and then I put a connector on top of it. It didn't work with a relay on top of it until I put a connector, so I put a connector and then a relay on top of this. I don't know if it's actually, if this right here is actually necessary because it doesn't seem to be collecting any power. So I think the trick was just making sure this was on output and that this was a connector instead of a relay. So yeah, that is giving our squeezer power. So now that we have power in our squeezer, we can go and get our coal coke, and put that in the sag mill. Yes, no, use it. Let's see. Somehow we need coke powder. Or do we just put the hang on. We're going for the HOP diamonds. So to get the graphite, we need graphite dust. And to get graphite dust, we could put coke. So we are going to need the crusher. I thought that we would be able to just use the sag mill to crush the coke, the coal coke, but it looks like we're actually going to need a crusher for that. So I'm going to go and get those parts assembled for it, and I will be back. I went on ahead and gathered all the materials that I'm going to need to make the crusher, and let's follow this guide here. So we're going to put it here, since when we make the full multi-block structure, the connector will be in the back, so I can connect it up with this. And let's see, 1, 2, 3. And then kind of wrap around with the scaffolding, I guess. It's a behemoth. It's a big old structure. Okay. Level 2. Okay. So light engineering here. Is it fully surrounded by fences? Yeah, fully surrounded by fences, redstone, and another light engineering. So here and oops. Does it go there or in front? No, it goes right next to it. So let's mine that back out. Put it there. And surround this with fence posts. And then a full circle of hoppers. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then which block do we need to click? Right-clicking the central block in the front. The front is the wide side of the structure, which has a light engineering block at the bottom. Center, so this one? Alright, looks like that was right. So let's go on ahead and hook it up with what we've got going on over here. Put our connector, and looks like I have an unexpected guest over here. Yeah, I have some lighting issues. I'm not entirely sure where they are to find them, so let's go kill ourselves a witch. Witch hunt! With the googly eyes. Be gone. I don't see any endermen over there. I'm really having a hard time getting endermen for ender pearls, and it's starting to get really obnoxious. Okay, so we need 7, 8. 8 of these. So do you just, I think you just throw them inside? I haven't done a whole lot with it for Immersive Engineering. 5, 6, 7, 8. So where did they just pop right out the bottom? Oh my goodness. Okay, but this one goes in there. And out comes HOP granite. I'm going to put that in. No, that's not going to go in the alloy smelter. How about the furnace? Actually, let's see. Use, yeah, into the furnace. Okay, graphite ingot put into a blast furnace. So we are going to need to assemble that blast furnace after all. I hadn't done that because I was making my steel in the alloy smelter, but it looks like we're going to need it after all. So we'll do our 3x3 here. Oops. Building on camera. Okay. Smack that with our engineer hammer. And put in our ingot and coke, I'm assuming. So is this going to take a ridiculously long time? I'll cut to when we have our first diamond. I'll be back in a minute. Our first diamond! I went on ahead and made the additional 2 HOP graphite ingots. We're going to need at least 3 of these to get started with the rest of Botania. The terrestrial agglomeration plate, we can go on ahead and do that right now. But to make our terrasteel ingot, we're going to need at least 1 terrasteel ingot, and then we're going to need 2 diamonds for each of these pylons to create our elven portal so that we can advance to here in Botania. So I'm going to let these 2 cook up and I'll be back. There we have our first 3 diamonds, and I don't really have enough time in this episode to get started on the terrestrial agglomeration plate, but I will definitely get started working on that in the next episode. So I can't wait to see you guys then, and goodbye.